In our theology, what happens is that eventually the explication of the person of the Spirit, right? When we call him the Holy Spirit, that's not identical to saying that God is Spirit. Again, it's two different uses of the term. That's why when this is debated by Basil and the Cappadocians, they explicate that the two different ways that we distinguish Son and Spirit are not on the basis of the term Spirit, but rather on their origin. So the Son is an eternally generated hypostasis of the Father. The Spirit is an eternally proceeding hypostasis from the Father alone. That's Orthodox theology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now, with this in mind, so you should worship God in spirit. I understand from some Christians that they say we worship the Father, but we worship the Father in the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't seem to be your expression, because I asked you, do you worship the Holy Spirit? And you say, I think you said yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, no, what I said was that we don't worship in the essence of God. That's not possible. That's why we believe in the essence energy distinction, which in our view means that there are real distinctions in God, not just between Father, Son, and Spirit, but also between the diverse actions, the manifold ad extra operations or activities of God. So in our view, the question that you had asked before is, are there real distinctions? How do you not have the same problems that you're putting on you? We believe that we avoid those problems precisely because we think there is a distinction between God's essence and his operations or energies. And that distinction is predicated on a more fundamental distinction between the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. They don't do different actions. It's all one action and energy by the triad, but it's manifested in different means and modes and ways.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, when the Son died on the cross, according to the Gospels, when the Son died on the cross, was that the second person of the Holy Trinity dying, or only the human aspect of this person?
Correct. So the second person of the Godhead assumed human nature and willed to undergo death in the human nature. So the severing of the human soul from the human body, in our view, is the thing that Christ willed to undergo. So he did undergo it in his singular divine hypostasis, as he's a divine person. But what he underwent was the severing of his human soul from his human body, and hence the Pauline and patristic teaching of Christ descending in his human soul. He's still, the divine person is still the person to that human soul, into the realm of Hades to preach to the Old Testament saints.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be sure I understand you, Jay. Did the human Christ have within him two souls, one human and one divine?
We don't believe that God in his divinity has a soul. Soul is a property only of human created nature. God has a divine essence, and he possessed the divine essence, but he underwent no change in terms of his divine essence. He only underwent that death and change in terms of alteration of nature in the humanity that he assumed.
Mm-hmm. Are you? I know you've studied the philosophy, so you can educate me on this. Are you taking the view of dualism, that human beings have a soul that comes into them, or do you have the idea that the soul is somehow the human mind that is connected to the human brain?
Our view is that body, mind, soul, and will are all faculties of human nature, and they're all instantiated in the particular human hypostases or persons. So I'm the particular person, Jay. You're the particular person, Shabir. What we share is a common human nature, but we particularize or instantiate that nature in a unique way. We think that, according to the Eastern Fathers, is an analogy for the Trinity, but obviously not a one-to-one correspondence, because the mode of being that creatures have as distinct, separate, discrete beings is obviously not the mode of being that the Trinity has, because the Trinity is a unity. So they always indwell one another. They were never apart. There's no spatial relations in God or anything like that. There's no composition. The humans are composed.